from holiday. I'm back on assisting the community with their cars and things that aren't working. And today we're looking at this Honda Civic EG Coupe. It's an EJ2, and the stereo and all the additional sound system that's just been added apparently keeps blowing up and not working. I got to admit, this is a lush car. The colour is fantastic. It's just been repainted. Sit next to my 350Z, and like the red and the purple, they're real similar. I almost went for this kind of colour. I love it. And this actually belongs to Carlos, who you may remember from a previous video. So this is his brother. This is Carlos. Carlos. When we stole his brother's car and put a racing livery on it. So this is Carlos's car, and what I've been told is the fuse keeps blowing in the aftermarket sub that they've put in, and the stereo keeps cutting out, and I don't know why, because I don't know enough about electronics. So step one, let's do a little bit of a diagnosis, see what they've done and where it might be going wrong. Okay, so we have a wire here going straight into the battery live, and the fuse in here is, oh. Okay, well, there's no fuse in there, so right now it's not going to be doing anything. Then in here we have, this is the signal wire running from the stereo. Apparently this is in correctly, and that goes off into the back up there. And then this blue is usually a remote on off, so that should probably be connected into the stereo, but isn't. In the back we have the sub. It's a JBL 1000 watt and another JBL, a GTO 400 watt amp. What do we have here? Okay, start off what? Oh my god. Okay, I mean, these wires are hanging all over. Oh god, this one's just falling out. Yeah, I've got a feeling there's a world of issues here. So the wires are coming in. Yeah, it's the input. This, I'm going to assume, is the ground. Yeah. Oh, I've just lightly touched it and that's pulled out. But yeah, okay, that ground's behind here. The power here is, oh, again, it's just pulled out. That goes off to the battery, so that'll be the fuse that they keep blowing. I've got a feeling that was because these wires were connecting, and that indeed, if we look here, REM, so remote. So this is the remote on off. So unless this is connected, it won't necessarily know that it needs to be switching the amp on. So the amp's not working. And the speaker, for now, it looks like they've temporarily jumped the inputs from the rear speakers and just connected them up. So it bypasses. I love these guys, but if they could never touch electronics again in a car, that would be great. So we're going to start by basically disconnecting everything aftermarket, just check that the stereo is working, all the original speakers are all working, and then rewire the whole sub in properly to the fuse box as opposed to going straight to the battery. So let's start by removing all this chaos. So one of the connections here is sus. This one here, the negative terminal, is just like hanging on by a thread. It might be okay. I'm just going to try connecting the positive up again now that we've removed all this jumper wire, and just see if it works. We really could do with some spade connectors for here though, which have obviously just been cut off by these maniacs. Right, so this has been returned to like normal, whatever normal means in this situation. Let's see what we got. Okay, power. Okay, well, we can do it with the static. Yep, we've got static here, front, left. Yeah, we've got static, back, left. Yeah, we got static in that one. And we got static in that one. So we got static in all 4 of the original speakers, and there's no additional rears, are there? No. Now we need to figure out all this stuff. So this, oh my god, this just comes off. Let's not do this. Remove it from here, take it out through the firewall, and instead we're going to wire it into the fuse box inside the car. It'll be just a better and more secure solution, and we just piggyback off a fuse in there. Right, removed. This thing was just like clipped in the top. This is like a what not to do. Actually, I don't want to run it down this side of the car anymore, so I can probably just pull it all out, because I'm going to go through down the other side of the car. Yeah, let's pull it all out this way. Yeah, of course it's stuck. Let's do it one bit at a time. And the other cable, I think, the cable can run this way. The blue one, the remote can continue to run this way, that's fine. And now it comes out nice and easy. Done. So instead, we're going to run it from under here. This is where the fuse box is. So here's my fuses. We've got to find which one we're going to piggyback off. Oh, at the bottom here, spare fuse, 7 and 10. Oh, spare fuse 30 amp. Perfect, because this wants 30 amps. So we'll go off that spare fuse 30 and use a piggyback. I've got a few little tools here, including a piggyback. You get these for about £3.50 from Halfords, and it just means we can, stick a 30 into here and junction out to what we want. And that'd be a better way of doing the power supply. And then the blue one that's over there is going to have to come in behind the stereo and connect to one of the connections behind the stereo, because then that will send the on-off signal to the amp in the back. So let's start by getting this like crudely placed along the side underneath some of this trim, and then we're going to take out this inline fuse here, because I want this to go straight into, like I say, into the piggyback. So we'll cut this and then splice in this to it, and we'll be kind of a good amount of the way there. Right, so we have this power cable now running to the back, which has been run properly underneath here, down the side of the seat, behind the back here, and then the audio cables are on the other side. And this is usually a good practice to keep the actual audio transmission cables and the power on opposite sides to remove chances of electrical interference from here to here. So yeah, we're just going to cut off this fuse, put this piggyback in, put it into the 30, and then in the back here, we can take this and this ground, which is fine for now, and just test this with the multimeter to see if this is a constant or a switched power source on that 30 amp fuse. It doesn't really matter too much, just because once we've got the remote, no, not that. Once we've got the remote here, it should turn itself off when it's not in use anyway. So yeah, just want to check what kind of power source that is. So first things first, let's just get this fuse installed. So this is a piggyback or a breakout, and you basically pop this end into where the actual fuse goes. Then the end closest to it here will just be that normal fused circuit, and then the opposite end will add a second fused circuit into this line. So we can put 30s in both of these, and it means we'll have a 30 in the normal 30 where it is underneath here, and it won't break that circuit even though there's actually nothing being used in that circuit. And then we'll have a second 30 amp circuit that then powers out to this line. So according to this diagram, we're going for spare fuse 30. So it's one of these ends will have an L shape. Yeah, so it's this one here at the end, and there is a fuse puller next to it, which is convenient. So we can just get in there and pull that fuse. So this is the spare 30. So we can put the spare 30 in the second one of these slots here. So there's now 30s in both of those. Now this just goes back where that 30 came from. Oh, is it not going to reach? No, it's too deep. It's got a protector. It's protected. So being as I cannot get this in because it's got like a little bit of protected plastic around it, so this one sits deeper. So my fuse piggyback won't go in. So I want to run it. If you see, I put this one back. You see how deep it sits in there? Maybe not, but it does. So we need to run off a different circuit. So we can take a look at this and see, well, which ones are like non-essential. So I would never run anything like this off, say, headlights or, you know, anything like that, like starters, because if it fuses and if something goes wrong with the circuit, you're going to potentially take out that circuit with it. Here's a good candidate. Sunroof 30 amp. So it's the same amp that we want, and it's like a non-essential thing. So it's at the very bottom left. It's that one there. So let's pull that and try that slot. There. That goes in there. And this goes in that slot. There we go. So this bad boy now should have power, and I've got a feeling it being sunroof, that's going to be switched power, but we'll just verify that now with the multimeter. Apparently our multimeter's dead, so we're going to assume that we've measured it correctly. Well done, me. So we're actually just going to hook the amp up to the power and the grounds, not worry about any of the rest of the circuit. Turn the ignition on and see if we get like a power button or display or something. Light, I'm guessing. So this has got ground, REM, which is the remote, and 12V. So we'll just get the ground in first and actually make sure it's like properly locked down, because it wasn't before and just pulled out. Oh, it's sparked. So maybe sunroof is a constant power source. Didn't expect that. But it does mean we do have power back here now. I was wondering if this would have it. Yeah, it's got a power light on back here, but the light isn't on. And I'm expecting that's because of the lack of the remote, and the remote is needed to tell this thing to turn on and off. So let's get it, let's get it wired. Okay, so remote is now in, and we need to sort remote at the other end. We brought in the man himself to actually get the stereo out, because I don't want to mess up someone else's stereo. So we've got the stereo out, and there are a bunch of wires, and this has been have clearly done a conversion from the typical Honda input for the stereo to an ISO standard, and it's yeah, it's okay. It's doing the job. I mean, this is just literally the speaker wires, the power wires, and then there's this mystery blue wire which goes to the blue and white here, and blue and white is power antenna stroke power amp REM on off. So that one there connects to here. So this blue wire that I've got around the back just need to feed up around the back of all this into there and connect to that, which will then give me the on off signal I require for everything in the boot. So all being well, this is basic done. Moment of truth. When I turn this on, does everything still turn on, and does the amp in the back turn on? Well, nothing went mad. So, as you can hear, we got the crackle from the stereo again. I need to check here. We got power. Right, so let's hook the sub up and then connect all this up, check it, and then we can start getting rid of the wires properly. Right, actually using the lock holes through the bottom of these as opposed to just these crappy little things here. These, where are they? These U-shaped spades that just don't want to grab. So this one here is negative. So going into here, for some reason they connect them into the right. The instructions say if you're using one channel, use the left. So we're going to use the left. We're all in, and like actually things are all properly locked in place now. This should all work. So now it's confirmed we've got signals. We can basically sort out all this wiring. I'm going to mount this. It's got some mounting holes here. Mount it on the top or the back of the speaker, so it's out of the way, because it's nice and thick, and I've got a few of these little self-tappers. So yeah, we'll mount that probably to the back of here, and then I just need to tidy up these wires so it's all not visible. Okay. Mounted. So that cable can go away. Blue cable can go away. Red cable can go over the top. All this comes like basically shove into the tin. Right. Final bits of cabling all like hid under here. So we've got the power along that side. We've got the signal along this side, which, like I said, helps prevent like noise interference. And then in the back, everything is like tucked away. The ground, which is under here, feeds under here. That cable's a bit short, but you know, it's okay. And this is all hidden. I think it's good to go. So before I bring Carlos out and show him what we've done and actually test it with some real human music, I think the big message I want to kind of continue to do with these is, if you've got some skills and you know how to do some things, and you can use that to help out your community, your friends, your family, people who live near you, whatever it might be, it's worth doing, and it's really satisfying. This has taken me a couple of hours, and it's turned this car from, I was going to say, a fire risk into something I think is going to have an immense sound system, and it saved them loads of money going out and paying someone to do it. I don't mind. It's a couple of hours of time. It feels really good to give something back, and I know they're probably going to give me some fish and chips, so everybody wins. But yeah, let's go get Carlos and try this with some actual music. Fortunately, he's right here. Carlos, it's done. Come have a look. Check out your brand new car.
And looking good, man.
It's nice that it's not full of McDonald's.
Yeah.
But we need to try it with some music, so can you plug something in? We're probably not going to get to listen to too much, because otherwise my copyright infringement little ding is going to set off, but let's see. What are we going for? What kind of music do you usually listen to?
Brazilian one.
Brazilian music. Yeah. Dope. So it's going to be bass heavy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, safe to say that works. The neighbours are going to love you, mate. The neighbours are going to love you. That works. And you know what the crazy thing is about this car? It's for sale. Doesn't even want to keep it. Bag of bits going home. Always have your bag of bits. What things have we learned from this? Well, 1, use piggyback fuses straight into your fuse box. It makes life a load easier. You don't have to go through the firewall, attach to the battery. Bit of a palaver. 2, separate your power signal and your data signal down separate sides of the car. 3, make sure your positives and your ground don't touch each other. It will just short circuit everything out. 4, if you've got the skills and the time to help people in your community with things that they need doing, then, you know, spend a little bit of time doing it. It's really rewarding and it helps make your community a better place. And 5, this car's for sale. So if you want I don't know what year it is, but a Honda EG, it's an EJ2 coupe with, I can see 126,000 miles on it. Hit up Carlos. I'll stick his Instagram down below. I've actually got a bunch more free community project stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. So you know what to do if you want to see all of that stuff. Also, the next steps for my project 350Z are about to happen, and I can't wait to get on with that. It's going to be spicy. Anyway, whatever you do with the rest of your day, people, have a wicked one, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Oh yeah, that's good.